Now, this idea came from me being able to create whatever reality I wanted to create. At one time, I wanted a house. I had no savings, no steady income, bad credit, and wanted a house while I lived in the most expensive area in Canada. Within 2 weeks, I owned my own house, a brand new house. I had this experience going on throughout my whole entire life, that as soon as I wanted something that was completely outrageous, that people would condemn me for even thinking about, laughed at me, said there's no way that was possible. For some odd reason, in my mind, I didn't give a shit about what anybody said. I was so much more powerful than those that doubted me. It is getting yourself into a state of zero doubt. You know it's about to happen. No matter how outrageous it is. You just have total belief in it. And then all of a sudden it just pops up. It just shows up. I've had that experience my entire life. At the same time, I had these abusive experiences. There's a genetic history of abuse in my family that I wanted to understand. What was creating that reality? And at the same time, I could make magic basically happen. How do you explain magic? Then I found a lot of science that backs this up. But I'm not a teacher. I'm not a scientist. And I'm really bad with names and terminology. It's almost as if my purpose in life is not to be talented in remembering names, not be talented in memorizing different experiments and scientific terminology. It's almost as if my purpose is to be able to understand complicated sciences, but not to memorize it and say what it is that I've just read, but more dumb it down a bit. It's like studying quantum physics and saying, okay, but what does this mean in my life? It's like reading a bunch of scientific formulas that prove a concept, and all you see is numbers. You just see, a calculation. And you can see some of these mathematicians just like they're speaking a completely different language than you and me. So where do you take this numbered formula and say, okay, but what does that really mean in my life? To the average person that doesn't speak the mathematical, scientific language. What does that really mean? That's where I think my purpose is more in, is to be able to comprehend some complicated sciences, but not to memorize it in a way that I communicate it in a way that I'm just repeating what's coming out of a book. It's more of how do you dumb it down so the average person can understand it. Not that the average person is dumb, but you pretty much have to go into science education to have an understanding of what science is. I mean, if you've never taken the course, does it mean you're dumb? That's what, I don't know, even IQ test is somewhat not real, because you have to have the experiences to be able to judge how intelligent you are. If you don't have the experiences, then it doesn't really mean that you're all that intelligent. That's a long story. Anyways, these are the emotions. They basically are intentions, but they are emotions that can shift your perception. It's two parts. It's controlling what it is you think about, But at the same time, it is transforming problems into solutions. I am not against, I'm not in support of just be the love and be peaceful. You know, when I was losing my shit, trust me, anytime I heard somebody that says be peaceful, be loving, they had no answers. They could sit there and watch you suffer and be happy about it. And it's like, those are the worst people on the planet. I'd rather you be, picking up a gun and trying to shoot me. At least we can see that you're not exactly a nice person. But, these people that are be the peace and be the love, we tend to think that they're really loving people, really peaceful people, but they really don't give a shit because they can sit there and watch you suffer and be happy watching you. So I'm definitely not in support of just be the love and be the happiness. It accomplishes nothing. And as far as I'm concerned, you're just as evil as somebody that would stab me in the back. So I'm not for somebody picking up a weapon and actually fighting, and I'm not exactly for anybody that wants to just be the love and be the peace. I'm into solving problems, making a different reality happen, gaining some power. So you actually have to focus on something positive, because you're going to go down the road that you want to create. If you want to go down a road where, everything's doom and gloom, and you constantly focus, constantly have the rivers of your mind focused on all the doom and gloom, you're going to create more and more of that. You're going to see reasons that constantly support that emotional state. But if you're in the love, in the peace, and this is what I want, and this is what heaven looks like, and this is what it would take me to want to live forever, and this is what it takes to make me be a healthy person, this is what it takes to have a healthy family, supportive community, great government. If I'm focused on everything that's good, I tend to walk down that path and create that reality. So you do have to focus on everything that's good, but you also have to recognize problems and transform them into solutions. One of the biggest things that Wayne Dyer, love the guy, says a lot of positive things. His books on intention really shifted my mind as to what intention really means. Live your life with intention is really, really good. But the guy got cancer, and there's a cause to every illness. So something's a little off with Wayne Dyer if he ended up getting cancer. And when you kind of know what I know, he's definitely blocked and suppressed a lot of his history. He has not transformed his abusive past. He's only focused on everything that's positive and ignored all of the problems and didn't transform them into the solutions. Tony Robbins did the same thing. Came from a lot of poverty, focused on what's good, and then just transformed himself into being the enemy that created his poverty in the first place. It's pick a side. Either be the guy that's in poverty or be the guy that's rich. He just chose to be the guy that's rich, focus on what's positive, and ignore the negative shit. What caused him to live in poverty? We are a global unit. You pretty much have to see what Tony Robbins does, but Tony Robbins definitely creates a lot of hell on our planet. I mean, his mentors are guys that dominate other countries through war. Kill as many people as possible so you can take over their economic system and profit. That's what Tony Robbins supports. But you have to do two things. You have to focus on what's good, but also be extremely aware of what the problems are and transform the problem into its solution. Anything short of that, we're doomed. The next one I do, because my tapes are not getting uploaded, is I will go over this again. At the risk of sounding like a nut bar, it is true. It will work. You need to try it out. Not just hear the words, but you actually have to walk down that path. if you don't want to walk down the path, it's like pointless. And that's all I'm seeing is I've offered this information. A lot of people have taken it, but never tried it. There's only a few that have tried it and seen the benefit of it. So what does it take for you to actually walk in a path that is your solution? And it's free. It's something that you could do at home. It's something you could do now. I'm perplexed as to why it is you wouldn't want to try it. It's so freaking powerful. It is the only way to defeat these elites. But you have to want to help yourself. If you don't, we're doomed. Peace out.